Okay, Unit 5, the starting lesson is tissues. So we learn there are four tissues in human: epithelial tissues, connective tissues, muscle tissues, and nervous tissues. And I told you muscle tissues we're going to learn in another section everything. Nervous tissues we're going to learn in another section everything. And epithelial tissues are connective tissues are very basic type of tissues we learn here. Because when you're going to learn human body, digestive system, respiratory system, uh, the skeletal system, reproductive system, any systems, we need to understand basic terminology and some words we use in these systems. The idea of tissue lesson is the first lesson given in the resource book. This gives some basic information for the students, the basic organization of the cells into tissues and to organ, and also some important word you will learn here, because when we're going to use this word again and again, we don't want to explain. For example, certain word like endocrine, exocrine. So we learn what is endocrine, what is exocrine, what is uh, the epithelial cells, what is epithelial layer. So these are the things we learn here, and we have covered epithelial tissues, and also we covered the connective tissues. I think what is left from the last week is bone tissue. Yes. So we have done cartilage, but we're going to learn cartilage again in the future. But basic things we're going to learn even in the bones, right? Okay, again, human body parts and functions. The best way to remember is make more diagrams and label the diagrams. It's a bigger section. To get the more marks in the paper, more contribution is coming from this section. As I told you, if we finish unit 1, 2, 3, 4, I think almost like 60-70% of the syllabus is done. And also, I just wanted to tell you traditional learning system, traditional method used in Sri Lanka, and teachers and the commercialized system over the years are no longer existing at the moment. It will disappear soon, because you have seen maybe a grade 9 student, he sat for the A level study and he selected for the university. Now systems are changing because concept of certain things like a mass class. What is the use of mass class? 3,000 students just sitting in one roof and watching these videos, and what kind of a thing they can learn. So better stay at home and watch YouTube videos, they can learn better there. So I think you should also find a new method, new systems, new pathways. So old traditional systems are change the mind of the student. So the student believe for over the years this is the only way you can pass the exam. But if you look evidence now, the island ranking is coming from Batticlo, not in Colombo sometimes. Everything has been changed. So you should also find new ways to get this knowledge, and also to pass the exam. Okay, what we learn under these connective tissues which connect another tissue. So idea of connective tissues is one tissue can connect with another tissues. So connective tissues are very different types. So we have learned different connective tissues. For example, blood is connective tissues, the fat tissue is connective tissues, and the cartilage is connective tissues, and the bone is also connective tissues. So today we're going to learn about the bones as a connective tissues. But also keep in mind, we're going to learn in detail bone tissues and bones as a separate section. This is something to get little introduction, the basic names. Okay, if we look bones, they are very hard structure. If I take a cross section of some bones like this, let's say if we cut a bone of the hands in the middle, we can see this kind of appearance, and the middle is like an empty space. But this empty space is not air space; it is filled with bone marrow. So they are cells and fat tissues. There are many cells and fat tissues. And then the hardest part of the bone is made out of uh, a repeating unit like this. Hardest parts of the bone is made out of a repeating unit. The hardest part of the bone is made out of repeating units. So you can also copy this one, and I think I can send you the. I can send these notes, what we done so far, and based on the long notes, you can complete the notes, the full notes. Hardest parts of the bone is made out of repeating units called is termed as osteon. This is termed as osteon. So this repeating unit made out of osteon. Let's see now how the osteon looks like. So if you look osteons, they organize like this. Yeah. If you look the small place like this, the osteon looks like this. So I can show you the real picture of osteon, how it look like. So we can consider this as example. This kind of a circles are called osteons. Another one like this. So then the hardest part of the bone is made out of repeating units is termed as osteo. So this is the appearance of osteo. Collection of osteons in the bone. Okay, next we will see how this organization of one osteon, what are the things we can find in one osteon. So bones are harder structure. They're made out of osteons. Osteons, many osteons joined together to make the hard part of the bones. And osteons are circular structures. They organized very tightly packed to make the bone. Next, we try to see how one osteon looks like and what are the things we can find in osteon. Good pictures is very important to remember and with different colors. Okay, right. This is the so we can learn this whole part is the matrix. We can say to the whole part is matrix. So matrix is mineralized, mineralized hard structure with calcium, phosphorus, and magnesium. So minerals are very important to form the bonds. The mineral deposits to make the hard part of the structure. So we can consider this one ring is lamella. Just one ring like this, we can consider lamella. There is another lamellae, another lamellae, another lamellae like this. These rings are called lamellae. And this margin between two lamellae, this one, it's called lacunae. That is a interface between two lamellae, right? So this line is the lamellae. Likewise, this is another lamellae, another lacunae, right? Not lamellae. So these are the lacunae. And lacunae are connected with tiny line like this. These are the tiny line connected each each lamellae. For example, if I draw this line here, connect with this one, connect with this one, connect with this one, connect with this one. So these lines are called canaliculi. Canaliculi, canals. Canalicules are a link between these lamellae. And finally, over the canals, going to the middle canal called central canal. Okay. So lamellae, lacunae, canaliculi. So we just write to understand what are those things again. Rings. This one is margin between two rings. So canaliculi is connection between one lamella to another. We're going to learn this in the future again, but just some idea of the bones. Right? Lacunae, lamellae, and canaliculi. So the mineralizations, calcium, phosphorus, and magnesium, form this kind of a round-shaped structures, and they have an appearance like rings called lamellae, and then we can find the margins in between the two lamellae. There is a space called lacunae, and all lamella are connected with each other by a network of canaliculi. Just like a rivers, they're just small small branches of the river drain to the central canal. And in the central canal, we can find nerve, we can find blood vessels, artery and vein, and then the nerve, and also lymph vessel. Artery, vein, nerve, lymph vessels. Artery, vein, nerve, lymph vessels. The rings of osteons is lamellae. In between these two rings, the space is lacunae. And there's a huge network called canaliculi, which drain to the central canal, which has artery, vein, and nerves, lymph vessels. Okay, we haven't see any cells now. We just say matrix. It's a flat form of minerals, but we haven't seen cells. Next, we're going to add cells to the bone because bone has cells as well. It has different cells. We're going to learn different cells of the bone. So we have ended to this session. Again, you can join in a few seconds. You can join to learn what are the cells in the bones. So far we learned the matrix made by the minerals, and now we're going to learn what are the cells in the bones.